You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, a superhero slanted pop cultured podcast about comics, movies, TV shows, and other nerd related things.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Islands in the stream, that is what we are.
Cross the streams.
Wow, yeah. Short.
That was quick. Hey.
Streaming. Hey, so everybody got me all hyped up for Dark Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember mentioning that it grossed me out the first time I tried to watch it. Made it about halfway through the first
episode.
You
were trying to eat.
I was trying to eat, couldn't do that.
It's not.
So I revisited it because of the rave reviews, and I finished the first episode, and I was on board. I was like, there was no more of that stuff grossing me out, and it was great. Second half of the first episode, I was like, I'm in. And since then, I don't know how many episodes there are, but I've watched like 3 or 4 more episodes, and there's a lot of good stuff. But it feels like there's a whole bunch of nothing going on, and I just can't get into it at all.
Really?
Yeah. It's cool looking, and it's kind of neat to watch some puppets running around.
Is like the plot's too dense? There's too much going on, or there's not enough?
Too much, nothing going on.
Okay.
There's like everybody's on a quest. Everybody's wanted by the bad guys, and it's just like, I don't know. Just
I can't remember. Were you a big fan of the original?
No, I don't even barely remember it. I remember it being like very, you're the chosen one for no reason. Go do this. That's about all I remember.
That's all fantasy.
Yeah. And it's getting a little more sophisticated since then, so that kind of stuff's lost on me anymore. So
maybe it needs more Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's gorgeous. And like I said, that first episode, I was really enthralled. And the whole thing's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's just not...
I haven't watched any of it. I'm still really looking forward to it. Right now, my house is just, scheduling-wise, is crazy with my daughter's volleyball and stuff going on right now. So I'm kind of saving it till after all that stuff. We get a break, and I want to kind of enjoy it. So.
I might still. Every once in a while, like the past couple weeks, I sit down and I'll just be like, okay, well, where was I at? And I'll start playing it again, and I'll make it 15 or 20 minutes. I'm like, yep, nothing's happening. There's still some little guy running around, and it's, whatever. Oh, they want somebody. There's some Skeksis already in.
I watched a couple things on Netflix.
Big downer.
Yeah, big downer. I watched a couple things. I watched Between Two Ferns, the movie.
I can't wait to watch that, so don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it.
And, I mean, other than we know if you don't know what Between Two Ferns is.
Yeah, this is the Zach Galifianakis
playing a exaggerated version of himself.
Yeah.
As an interviewer.
Yeah, he gets big celebrities on to come on.
A million YouTube videos.
Yeah, and they sit between the two ferns, and it was pretty much what I expected it.
I heard it was funny.
It was funny. It's not my favorite thing of the week. But
I heard that the outtakes at the end are the best part.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah. You seem a little low on it. I'm hyped for it.
I think I was a little disappointed. I think I had too high expectations for it. Also on Netflix, I watched, to bring it down just a little bit further, a little special called Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me here tonight. My name's Chelsea Handler, and I am as white as they come. I'm filming a documentary, as you may or may not know, about white privilege.
Oh.
I'm clearly the beneficiary of white privilege. I want to know how to be a better white person to people of color.
We need to talk to people who are white and stop asking black people to solve our problems.
Do you think it exists?
I wouldn't say it's totally non-existent, but it's not something that I see very commonly.
But would you see it if you're white?
Chelsea Handler. She did a documentary style special about white privilege and going around to different groups of folks and asking, mainly white people, if they believed in white privilege and what their experience with that was. And surprisingly, guess what? Most of them No.
That's surprisingly?
Yeah.
You mean
yeah,
not surprisingly?
Ironically.
That's the privilege we have. We don't even have to believe it.
Right. But there was some good stuff on a personal level that I did not know about her.
I saw the clips of her ex-boyfriend.
That whole previous relationship she had in like high school, and what basically ended with one of her parents. She was living in her boyfriend's house, and who was a drug dealer.
Right.
And one of her parents just at some point has enough and goes in and basically drags her out. But how their lives ended up differently.
Right.
So it's got some good stuff in it, though. I thought it was pretty good.
I have not heard one bit about this. I don't even know what is it on. What?
Netflix.
Oh,
yeah. So watch that, and then DC Universe. New episode of Titans came out just today. It's already a couple weeks old, but
this is season
2.
Okay.
And right now at this point, we're getting a lot of backstory on Dick Grayson, Hawk and Dove, Wonder Girl, and now they finally introduced Aqualad. In the original, in this version's original team of teen heroes. It's really good, though. It's getting good, guys. Deathstroke, Dr. Light.
Is this like Identity Crisis, Dr. Light?
No. Could be. No. And then with Deathstrokes, we've already met Rose.
That'd make a good movie.
And now we have a Jericho in this series we just got introduced to. But it's
Does he have a perm?
No. Oh. He's Asian. An Asian Jericho.
Odin like that.
But
white privilege.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it.
It's got a lot of privilege. I wonder if he owns up to that ever.
We should do a podcast about that.
Yeah, we should. No, it's really good. If you haven't been able to check out any of the shows on DC Universe, I highly recommend all of the new stuff there.
Hijacking your cousin's
exactly.
Well, the only thing I have been watching, it seems like for the past 2 weeks, is from PBS, Country Music, new documentary from Ken Burns.
Country music comes from right in here, this heart and soul that we all have.
You can dance to it, you can make love to it, you can play it at a funeral. It has something in it for everybody.
Country music is about human emotions. We're always looking for those topics that are going to tell us a lot about who we are, not just to the era that we covered, but who we are now.
If you want to look for like super strong women telling really amazing stories, you went to country.
I mean, the songs are just life. I've seen it or I've lived it. And I never would tell my husband which one was.
I believe that you can go look and find a country song that will help you feel better. Sometimes it might make you cry, but you'll feel better.
This is the story of a uniquely American art form that sometimes gets defined as three chords of the truth. And the people who made it, created it, and how it became a business.
Hello, I'm Johnny Kay.
There's a bunch of extra stuff online. I'm not sure if all the episodes are up for streaming, but they've got Spotify playlist for a bunch of the songs they've used. It's got a bunch of extra behind the scenes stuff, extra clips, extra interviews, history about some of these artists. So this was 8 parts long, each 2 hours. So we're talking a 16-hour documentary.
Ooh, man, that's almost as long as our Extreme TV theme song.
Yeah, why doesn't Ken Burns do a documentary about theme song? But yeah, this is the guy. I've got a couple more episodes to go, so I'm almost done with it. The guy did the famous Civil War documentary.
Yeah,
baseball. Vietnam. Jazz, the national parks. I mean, this guy's known for these deep dives into this subjects. And when I heard they were doing all about country music, I was hyped because that's my jam. I love country music. So
how much Garth Brooks is in this?
I'm still in the 70s, so
okay.
I haven't hit the Garth area. It only goes up to the mid 90s. It kind of ends on Garth Brooks. So it kind of ends on the high note. I saw an interview and he was like, you know, you kind of have to be able to look back at this stuff. You can't put, you know, it's hard to do a documentary about what's going on today. So we had to kind of have some distance so that you can't go up to the minute. So it started filming in 2012. Over 175 hours of interviews with 101 artists and music personalities. Several of the people I saw have already passed away. So they talked to Merle Haggard, Little Jimmy Dickens, Roy Clark. I'm like, these people are all dead. So they had all these interviews in for, you know, going on 10 years now. So yeah, anyone you can imagine still living. Willie Nelson, Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, Hank Williams Jr., Roseanne Cash. I'm going to do a list of people. Stick with me. Charlie Pride, Brenda Lee, Marty Stewart, Chris Christopherson, Rodney Crowd, Reba McEntire, Dwight Yoakam, Wanda Jackson, Vince Gill, Emmylou Harris, Garth Brooks. So yeah, we talked to producers, people from Nashville, people from the South, basically just tracking obviously the history of country music. But it wasn't just like, and then this album came out and it was exciting. It was literally hour 5 before we got to Hank Williams. So this was like really in depth. So it starts basically, you know, the Civil War and America.
Someone created a guitar.
Right. But yeah, it tracks, you know, the banjo is an African instrument that came over with the slaves. The fiddle is from Europe and, you know, Ireland and England, and it tracks migration patterns and how these people met, and then the blues and jazz as it happened.
It's a melting pot.
And it melted in together. And then when the Dust Bowl happened, all these people migrated west, and they, you know, the people with, you know, the Mexicana music, and then, you know, and then they all end up in California together. These, you know, regions that had never mixed, and all these hills and hollows from Appalachia.
Ice came and moved them over here, and now there's what's next.
And then finally, the biggest thing, World War II, all these soldiers, you know, who are from all over the country, who have never, you know, had any kind of integrated, you know, they've never met someone from a big city, New Yorker or whatever, that they're all in together. So it just kind of tracks music and how it's all influenced, and there was much less in the early days keeping track of this is this kind of music and this is that kind of music, and, you know, they called it hillbilly music or race records, quote unquote. So any of the R&B stuff that evolved into R&B. So it tracked all these guys listen to these black blues musicians and listen to these Appalachian, you know, fiddlers, you know, up on the hills and hollers somewhere, that they, you know, maybe one family
on the
roof.
Fiddlers.
Fiddlers
on the
roof.
You said they're up.
So yeah, maybe one family in the holler had a radio that was, you know, plugged into a battery they had to conserve, but on Saturday night we listened to the Grand Ole Opry. You know, so it's like, yeah, it's just a fascinating bit to me. And again, it just reminds me of, like, even what we're doing, talking about pop culture. It's really not that important. But pop culture is also American culture, and, like, you know, who cares about this silly stuff? But it's history, and it's, you know, you can learn a lot about a culture by what it consumes and the art it enjoys. So I don't know, it's just watching these things. I like, again, contextualizing history through pop culture.
Besides the fact, like, even staying current on pop culture, you're going to age really fast the minute you stop paying any attention to pop culture.
Right.
You're going to not know what anybody's talking about, and that's the end of you.
I mean...
So yeah, what's going on YouTube? We don't know. We're going. We're out of it. That's part of my love of comic books. It's not always just, well, remember when the Hulk fought that guy in that issue? No, it's like keeping track of, and in the movies, you know, sci-fi in the 50s was influenced by the atomic bomb and all this stuff, and Vietnam and Watergate had this implication. So what's going on in the world affects pop culture, and it's nice. I love looking back on that stuff and seeing the patterns and kind of tying it all together to, oh, that makes sense. We were all kind of influenced by this. And this show, you know, Kim Burns is a master at that, piecing all this stuff together with this, you know, talking to the people who were there, this footage, you know, photos and documents, and just, It's 16 hours long, but it does not feel like it. It flies by. If you have any interest in country music at all, even if most people, I don't even like country music, but there's good stuff there. It's the basis of all, rock sprang from this. All the music we love today sprung from, rhythm and blues and jazz, all this stuff. It's American music, and it must have hit some chord in America. Right now, according to an article I read in Variety, 8 of the top 20 spots on Amazon's physical media chart are artists spotlighted in this, and 35 of the top 100. And every single album in the top 20 on the Amazon country charts are people they focused on in this documentary. And then on iTunes, 60 of the top 100 albums being downloaded on iTunes are things they talk about in this thing. So I said his jazz documentary, they've said it spurred an interest in jazz that's lasted for a decade. So we're starting to, people are going back to Mother Maybelle Carter and Jimmy Rogers and all these old school, the foundation of the country. People are like, oh, that's pretty good stuff. I should go check that out. So,
well, I've always said I'm not big on country music, but not across the board. I have nostalgia for country from my youth, right? That old country, what my grandparents were listening to. There's a lot of great stuff there. I definitely don't write off country music. There's plenty of stuff I like. It's just the stereotypical stuff that I don't like. Grandma's dog went to prison crap. I don't like that, and I don't like the super poppy country of today. But that older stuff would be interesting to hear about.
I listened to country for a period of time in my life, and that was one period of time, and that was it. It was the only time I ever listened to it. Was when I was in high school, because that's what everybody listened to. It was country when it had its big comeback, was at the height of whatever it was in the 90s.
Yeah, so this documentary ends in 96, so that's probably right.
That would be a great time to stop watching anything about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many great stories. Obviously, you have Johnny Cash. You've seen Walk the Line. You know that story. But Loretta Lynn is amazing. Merle Haggard has a crazy story. Chris Christopherson, a helicopter pilot, flew on the Johnny Cash's front lawn. And I got a song for you. I mean, come on.
I watched a couple things. I watched a show on Netflix called Unbelievable. Did you guys hear about this?
I heard about it.
I know this is hard, but I need to ask you some questions about what happened.
He tied my hands. He said if I screamed, he'd kill me.
No signs of forced entry. Doors and windows were locked. No DNA. Not a single neighbor saw or heard a thing.
He brought a blindfold, but nothing to tie her with. Would a shoelace even hold her?
You think Marie made up the attack?
I'm pretty positive that it happened.
Pretty positive or positive?
They just kept asking me the same question. How come your story doesn't add up? I wanted to go home.
I don't have a victim here. It's bogus. She made it up.
We're on the scene of a violent attack. Police say a masked assailant broke in while the victim was sleeping.
He said you need to be more protective of yourself.
Black mask, bindings, early morning attacks.
I think he's done this before.
Aurora, 18 months ago. Intruder, black mask, backpack, tied her up, took photos. To date, has not been caught.
Based on the true story of Marie Adler, teenager who was charged with lying about having been raped, and the 2 female detectives who followed the path to the truth.
I think I saw some of this.
Yeah, Caitlin Dever plays Marie Adler. Again, great performance.
My wife was watching this the other day, and I sat down and not paying any attention to I was doing something else, and it was on, and I was and then I started kind of listening a little bit, and I'm like, what is going on here? And she was all into it. It was very good.
Oh yeah,
this isn't working, moms. What are we?
I know exactly.
I think a lot of people have watched this and will watch this. Merritt Weaver. She was in Walking Dead.
Walking
She
Dead.
was the got the Abraham shot.
She was the doctor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She is great in this, and Toni Collette they're the two cops. Mm-hmm. I would watch a cop show with those two as partners. Like they're basically partners in this. Like two different police departments get together and work together to solve this case. And like I said, it's a true story. Caitlin Dever plays this young girl who's like doesn't have a good reputation, has a terrible past, and goes to gets raped, reports it, and is basically treated like she's not telling the truth. And there's some misunderstandings, but there's some guys need to watch this. Like, it's like you need to watch it, see. It's so, I was talking to somebody who watched it, and they're like, I kind of side with those cops. Like, she was made it look like she's lying. I'm like, but they didn't help her at all. They lied to her about some stuff. They tried to really test her on her story, which was totally unnecessary. And she had no faith in anybody, so she was not going to press it. It wasn't worth it to her. So anyway, it's a lot of great performances, great story. It's pretty clinical though. They're kind of like, okay, this is what happens to you if you report a rape. This is everything you're going to go through. All the tests they're going to give you, all the physical things they're going to do to you, and they show all this stuff, and it's just real. It's kind of dark, but like I said, Merritt Wever is the best part of it. She is so. I was trying to think of a way to describe her performance, like so calm, and like even when she's worked up, it's almost like you want her to really let loose sometimes because she's so casual and calm through the whole thing. Very likable, and I don't know. It's good. Of course, Toni Collette's always good, but they really contrast against each other. It's a good series. I think it's only 8 episodes, but they're not like super long. I think they're 30 to 40 minutes. If they're an hour long, that just tells you how good it was. They flew by for me. I enjoyed the whole series. Why did we not talk about Cobra Kai season 2? Did everybody watch season 1?
No, I never finished it.
You watched season 1?
I love season 1.
I watched season 1 when it came out because we could watch it for free at the time if you got 1 month, free trial of YouTube Red. Now there is no such thing as that anymore, I believe. It's all on YouTube, and you can just watch it now.
The full season
season 2 is on there now.
Sweet.
And I don't know why. I just happened to run across it tonight and watched like the first 4 episodes of season 2. And it's great, just like season 1. Just the ridiculous, kind of hokey Karate Kid stuff. Like, just Johnny discovers the internet. He's like, he sees a conspiracy theory. Oh, I knew that. I just knew that stuff was happening, Just ridiculous stuff. John Kreese is back.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have
YouTube
anything. Premium to watch it?
Nope. You watch, and I did see it was like, well, it's ad supported or whatever. So I thought, oh no, it's not. It's like anything else. You watch 1 10 or 15 second ad at the beginning, and that's it. Each episode. So totally worth it.
I had no hopes for this. It seemed like kind of a cheesy nostalgia cash in, and it blew me away the first season.
Way. Yeah.
And how much they put into it as like, they're trying to tell a good story. And so I really hope season 2.
Some of the stuff with the kids is a little bit awkward. Like they don't necessarily pull it all off, and some of it you're like, okay, well they're going to be terrible at this. So by the end of it, they're great at it. They're going to practice this and be so whatever. But it's still what you're getting.
What was the name of the actor that just passed away today from Karate Kid?
It was the Cobra Kai member who had the famous line, "Get him a body bag."
Oh my gosh, that guy died.
He died today.
He died today.
I never heard that.
And I don't want anyone to make a joke about a body bag because I'm sure the internet.
It's already been put out there. I've already seen it.
I never even heard that anything happened.
Yeah, he died today, and right as we were recording, the actress Linda Porter from Superstore, she played Myrtle
Oh, really?
She died.
The hologram?
Yeah, the greeter lady.
Yeah.
She passed away today too. She was
Get her body back. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to make that joke.
Too soon.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I read it, the last part I saw her on Superstore was the hologram greeter. She was playing that, and she was like, low battery, and then went off, and I was like, oh no. So
that sucked.
Anyways, Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Season 2.
I challenge you guys to catch up on that. I want to talk about it. It's pretty funny.
All right.
You're gonna challenge me?
Yeah, I'm challenging you
to the All Valley All Valley streaming tournament.
Right. Okay, now we're gonna begin your training. I'm gonna need you to go wash my car. Wax on.
All right, that's all I've got for streaming.
Yep.
Sign it off. Just sign it off. I'll cut it or what?
Oh, I thought you were like adding it to the last.
We just thought you were just gonna.
I can.
Okay, just do that, and then cut all this garbage out.
Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com.
Oh my God.
You don't know what we're doing.
The good guy in the thorny crown told him tricks and mischief lead to Satan. Yeah. Or like one of the bad things is look at us outside waving. That's misbehaving. Is outside waving, running in the house with pickles in your mouth, shaving, all bad things.
All bad stuff.
Yeah, more male nudity than I expected.
Oh my God. that shirt's a little longer than you think it is, buddy. Oh, it cracked me up. Okay, so we'll do streaming and I'll figure it out later.
So just one segment?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't
That's
know.
how we do things.
Yeah. Why stop now?
Maybe if I be like, hey, this didn't work, I'll cut this out. Put this great streaming section out.
Right. There it is.
Right, we've got it.
Yeah.
Our bodies are primed for marathons.
Right. What do you think I ate all that gel for?
Yeah. All right.
I was thinking, what can we do next? We did that break. I was like, Riverdale.
Riverdale's coming.
I'm not gonna be able to focus on anything else.
It just
Christmas time or whatever.
Yeah. Let's start thinking now if we're gonna get something ready.
Yeah.
What could we even do for Christmas? You're not gonna be here.
Oh yeah.
You gotta do live broadcast.
Yeah. Remotes
from the top of from the radar dish on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm hiding in the smuggler's.
I'm in the floor panels. Yeah.
I want you to pop out of one of them Coke containers or something. Just be there at the park. Them getting footage of you popping out of stuff, riding on the droid conveyor belt.
Yeah. Up in the ceiling. Up there.
Let's come back with a black kyber crystal. That's all I got.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people going crazy over this.
They ended up changing the packaging because people were shining a light through it.
Yeah, they figured it out.
You get different kyber crystals to put in your lightsaber. Like there's multiple reds and greens and blues.
Different colors.
But you don't know what you're getting.
You don't know. Well, yeah, you don't. You know what color you're picking, but there is a black one out there that's supposed to be, what's the guy's name? The guy that got cut in half.
Dark.
Snoke.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Snoke is the black kyber crystal, but it comes in a package that looks like you're getting a red one, and there's only one per 100 apparently. Well, people figured out that they could shine their fun light through the packaging and see if it was.
Yeah.
So they changed the packaging, and in California they keep them behind the desk anymore, like you came to do it. But in Florida at this time, because it's new, They don't do that. It's out there, but they say they're trying to discourage people from shining a light through it because they're saying, oh, they'll tell them, it'll cause explosion, whatever, just.
Well, what happens is they get bombarded with the eBayers.
Right. Oh yeah, if you find a black one, it'll sell on eBay for a couple $1,000s.
Right.
I would get those like blind box thingies, whatever they were.
Yeah.
And like I would have people come in, like, have you moved these? Because they knew the second one back in this row was the rare one. Like,
yeah. So what they have is like with the Kyber crystal, like you pick green. Okay. Well, one cut is Luke. One cut is Yoda. One is whatever. And if you buy the holocron and put it in there, then you
hear their voice and stuff. Yeah. It's all just stuff that
merchandising.
I would immediately buy. Merchandising.
Bob Chapek.
Yep.
Genius. So there's a few things that have already gone, and
so I was watching some stuff that's since Florida, it's different than California because like stuff that they've already run out of in California they still have in Florida.
Right.
It's just like they've got they have the droid chips, personality chips or whatever. They're out of them. They've been out of them for a month or two in California.
Yeah. A lot of people that have been to both say Florida. A lot of people prefer Florida.
I watched a video today that they didn't. There was there's differences.
Yes,
they're supposed to be the same place technically. That's what I was joking about.
Right.
There's subtle differences, paint jobs. There's a lot more spacing in Florida, obviously.
Yeah.
There's more. They've got Home Depot furniture and stuff there and things. And, but they've got a couple different menu items.
I had a friend that was there last week.
Alcoholic blue and green milk.
Yeah.
Which they don't have in California.
My friend was sending me pictures and the milk and stuff, and there's the one with the alcohol. It comes in a square cup, and the regular is in a round cup. And she was sending me pictures. I was like, "Oh, Craig got the boozy one, huh?" And she's like, "Oh yeah,
got rum in it.
Yeah,
for blue, I think, and tequila in the green.
Right. Yeah, and there's been a few things that were planned that just, I don't know if they got cut for budget or whatever. Like there was a show they actually did at the media preview in California, involving like that V or Vi or whatever that character is. She's with the Resistance. She's the black girl with the blue hair.
Yeah.
Of stormtroopers chasing her down, and they're firing guns at each other and running around above you on the set, and Chewbacca's shooting his bowcaster or whatever. They only did it one time. It was supposed to be an everyday thing, and it apparently just got cut.
Footage of this black girl, like in an orange smock.
Yeah,
she had some colored hair or whatever, but she's like hiding under this thing, and these stormtroopers are walking across the top. And these guys were trying to talk to her and saying, like, this looks a little different than the last time I was there. They were trying to joke about that they were in California.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's like, because a lot of the cast members have, like, clever answers for things like that. Just, like, try to always act like you're there.
Yeah, they did some, they cut a bunch of entertainment in the parks. Like, they cut the Majesty Makers in Magic Kingdom. They cut the Muppet Show. The history one, which was fabulous. It was so well written, had the actual Muppet performers' voices recorded, and then they just had puppeteers.
Why did they do that? What did they put there? Why would you do
nothing? It just went away
you
because
can't just play a recording and have some.
Well, they had to pay the puppeteers.
Well, God forbid. Old chap Dick couldn't pay some
because attendance is down.
I can't fathom that.
It is. Like, I was watching a video from this past week at Florida, and it's got much more room than California. But it's just like, why don't people just chilling out? And I'm like, what?
They did it to themselves.
They're not ready. There's not every attraction there.
But for 2 years, their plan was, we're going to keep raising prices because we want the rich people to come in and spend. We'll still make the same amount of money, but we'll keep the average guest out because they can't afford it, and then we'll have smaller crowds.
Which to me is a sign of the economy more than the S&P 500 or like the people can't afford to do this stuff right now. They're working 2 jobs, and no one has that kind of money to blow unless you're really serious about it.
Right. Closest I can get is watch a crappy episode of Goldbergs. Watch them go.
Well, this week is ABC's big Disney push.
Like every show's tying into
Yeah. It was even on like The View yesterday. Sunday night, Freeform is having a Galaxy's Edge special that's going to air, like an hour special or whatever. So I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, they're just, I don't know. I mean, I'll be excited if there's not a huge crowd when I go, but
yeah, that's good for you. I was already thinking that time of year would be good, so that you ought to be set up.
Yeah, but
it'll be nice and cool.
But I hate.
That's what people were complaining. They were like, it's a lot hotter in Orlando than it is in California.
Oh yeah. But I hate the fact that they're taking stuff away already. Like that is bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. The Muppet thing I remember, because I haven't been since we went in 2009, was the 4D.
Yeah, Muppet Vision. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still there, but the puppet show, it was great because you just kind of stumbled upon it, and they sang and they were up above. It was just great moments in history, but mostly the American parts is what it was. It was fabulous. Best thing they've come up with in a long time. And it had different versions of the show, so it wasn't the same every time you saw it. And just, I don't know. Sucks. It was a big draw in that part of the park. But I think
is that going to change any of their plans going forward? Is it going to slow down any of the expansion, or?
Because they're already adding a restaurant to Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. Because that was, I don't know how that's gonna. Because I mean, there's room. There's an expansion pad off of Galaxy's Edge ready in Hollywood Studios for another ride or whatever. But I don't think it's going to happen for a while.
I can't fathom Disney be like, oh, we're short of cash this month. Can't really do anything new. Like, I got to pay the rent. I got to make sure that it's like Disney. You have unlimited money.
Yep.
Like, being a little soft opening can't be a huge tragedy for them.
So, but yeah, they need to quit raising their prices. That's for sure. But then Skyliner is opening up. Well, it basically has opened up just this week, and it's getting rave reviews. Everybody loves it, and I'm like, you're doing the things you're coming out with new stuff like you should be, but just quit charging so damn much, and people come. If you can't, over $100 for a one-day ticket, just people. I know a lot of people will, we're going on vacation, and they'll go to the beach for 4 days and go over to Orlando for a day and, go to Magic Kingdom or whatever, and that's all they do. They don't stay on property or whatever. Well, you're completely eliminating those people. Because if they have 3 kids, it's $600 just for a day. Just to get in the park, not including food and merchandise and all that crap. Marking.
Ridiculous.
So
I just want to live in a fantasy world of my own imagination.
Exactly.
I can't. Build a whole galaxy for me.
But the idea that 1955 you get into Disneyland, the ticket was $1.
It seems cheap.
I remember when I was a kid. I mean, I remember us getting
$2.
It was like $25 a ticket.
When you were a kid, it was $20.
Yes. This is all new. The pricing has...
To me, it should be like a movie theater. Like, you pay it over the concessions and the extra stuff, the souvenir. Like, but to price people out before they ever get in the door.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's been their plan.
Yeah, I want to be nickel and dimed.
Right. Yeah. Nickel and diming the traditional American
I can
way.
decide just how bad I need a drink of water.
Yeah.
If I'm willing to risk dehydration.
Well, just today there was a big thing where you can no longer. There were outside vendors, like especially the travel agent. They have a little kid, and I could get them a stroller rental or an electric scooter for half the price from a third party who would bring it, deliver it to the resort, drop it off for you, and then pick it up when you were done. Well, now, today, they're like, no, we're not, you can't drop them off any longer. Somebody has to be present. If you're going to rent that from somebody else, then they have to drop it off to you. You are not leaving it with us.
Right.
So
I could see them being like, hey, if you're not going to get our scooter.
Right, that's
we're
what
not
it
gonna,
is. Yeah.
We're not going to stand and do your mail for you.
Because, and the same thing, now, everybody assumed it would happen with the grocery delivery too, because Amazon, Guard Grocer, whatever. Well, if I'm going to be there for a week, I'm going to buy snacks or whatever I'm going to have in my room, and I'm flying in. I'll just have them delivered. I'll pick them up at my resort, and we're good for a week. Whatever we don't consume, we'll leave for somebody else, and well, everybody assumed today with the strollers, oh God, it was the big rumor, we can't get our groceries anymore. Well, apparently you can, at least for now, but that'll be probably next. Oh, you're not buying our food?
Once Disney and Amazon merge, then they'll be controlling everything about our lives. So
Disney, Amazon, Scooterville.
Yeah, we won't have to think about anything. We'll just be assigned food.
So we'll be assigned food. That's really fine with me. I'm ready.
Guy in mouse ears on a scooter will pull up to your
ready
house.
for that.
He has your food for a week.
I'm ready for that. Thanks, scooter guy.
Yeah. All praise be to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
All right, let's go home.
All right.
It was